Hey there, welcome back friends. Today we will talk about enum. Now what exactly is a enum? Enum is nothing but a collection of predefined constants. Now as we are talking about constants, certain values would be already assigned to these constants. Now we will talk about constants, we will talk about enum in a greater detail. But first of all, let us check this example which is in front of us. So in this example, we have couple of constants. What are constants? Constants are elements whose value doesn't change. Or in other words, we can also say constants are final variables. As final variables cannot change their values, definitely final variables can be referred as constant. Now in here, let me show you this example. In this example, we have couple of constants. And whenever we talk about constants, usually these constants are static and final. Why static? So that we can access them easily. And why final? Because we don't want the value of the variables to be changed, because definitely these are constants. And based on the naming convention, the name of constant should be all uppercase. In here, these constants are all uppercase except one. So these kind of naming convention where we have combination of lowercase alphabets and uppercase alphabets is not good. So whenever we talk about constants, all the alphabets would be in uppercase. Let me fix this real quick. Alright, so now let me fix the error which is showing up now. Let me copy this name real quick and paste this in here. Alright, so everything is fixed now. Now this example is cool, and if I execute this program, definitely as the learning variable is initialized with core Java, the output would be step 1 learning core Java, which is cool. But learning is a int entity, and as a result we can give the value of learning as 8, and there is no meaning to it. We are simply giving the value of this learning to 8, and as a programmer we can understand what is the meaning of this statement, but as a layman or as a other person who is trying to understand your code, there is no meaning to it. As a result, we won't be able to make out any meaning out of this statement. Moreover, we won't be able to display anything. Why? Because there is no default case in here as well. Now, if we want to apply some kind of restrictions for this variable learning, then what could be a solution? Definitely the solution could be our enum. And how enum can help out in this situation is something which we will see. Definitely there is more to it. This is one scenario where enum can help, and we will dig more into enum. But as of now, I will right click, navigate to new, and now we won't add new class, rather we will be adding a new enum. So let's add in a new enum in here, and Eclipse will create a file. The name of the file could be like enum as usual, and then we will click on finish. Here we go. So new enum has been created. Let's proceed further. Enum is keyword, and this enum is the name of the enum. Alright, so in here we have this enumerated list. Now what is a enum? Enum is nothing but a list of constants, and inside this list we would be adding all of these constant values. So let me do one thing. Let me quickly copy all of these names in here. So first would be core Java. Then we would be adding maybe collections. Now what are these? These are topics which we must know in order to start our career in industry inside our Java domain. These are a couple of very good to know topics in fact, and all of these topics we teach. So it's very good that understanding of all of these topics which are listed in here. What are these? Core Java, collection, generics, JSP and servlet, and multi-threading. So all of these are cool, and note that we are not making use of any semicolon in here. It's okay, there is no issue. Now moving forward, inside demo we will proceed further and do something special in here. Now moving forward, let us get rid of these constants and in fact this switch case as well. So inside this main method there is nothing. Let's do one more thing. We will rename this enum file to learning. So what all we are learning is listed inside this enumerated list, and here is the list. And as we have refactored it, the class name is also updated by Eclipse itself. So that's cool. Now moving forward in demo, in here we will make use of this enumerated list learning. So in here we will type in learning, and the name of the list would be maybe learn, right? So here we have the object of enumerated type, and in here we will type in switch. We will apply the switch on learn. Now it is start complaining, right? So there is some kind of error. Let's initialize this. Now the error is vanished, but there is some kind of warning in here, right? So in here, if we click on this warning, then there are a couple of options. Out of this, one option is add missing case statements, and this option is pretty cool. We can simply click on this and all the cases would be created by default. Definitely there is no statements inside these cases, but these cases are based on this enumerated type. So collection, core Java, generics, JSP servlets, and multi-threading are nothing but the elements inside this enumerated type. So this is cool. And now moving forward, let us quickly add the statements. So in order to save some time, let me do one thing. Let me pause this video and add the statements, which are the system.out.println statements for the case. And again, there is some kind of error because there is null pointer access in here. We will also fix this in a minute. Alright, so by pausing the video, I have added couple of statements for these cases along with the default case. So in here everything seems to be okay, but in here there is a warning, and this warning is null pointer access. Now if I execute this program, definitely there would be a crash because in here this particular learn value is pointing to null, and as a result there is a null pointer exception. Now if we initialize the value of this learning enumerated list as null, this doesn't mean that we will be executing the default case. So that is something you must know. Now in here, for example, I initialize learn to maybe 25. There would be an error. Why? Because we need to change the type learn to int, which is the suggestion. Now learning type is a special type. This is a enumerated type. So in here, Java will apply type safety, which is amazing because in here, in order to initialize, we need to make use of the name of the enumerated list, which is here, and then we need to make use of dot, and it will list down all the values which are there in the list. Here are the values. So the values are collection, core Java, generics, JSP servlet, and multi-threading. So for example, in here I choose core Java, and now everything is vanished. There is no warning. There is absolutely no issue. Now definitely if we execute the program, the output is learning core Java, which is perfect. So this is the overall overview of enumerated list, and there is more to it. We will try to understand how to assign some custom values, how to iterate on these kind of enumerated list in our forthcoming videos. I hope that I have made myself clear using this easy to understand example. See you in the next video.